Greetings everyone, I just finished filming standing in 3 states at once. I'm literally sitting in 3 states at once under a highway, and it's been a great adventure. I haven't been back to America to film in a while, so I'm really excited to be here. I've got some of your questions. We weren't able to get all of them because we're traveling around, and maybe we'll make a part 2 or something, but I'll do my best to answer the ones that we thought were most interesting. First question goes as follows. Ryan, is there any country you can visit but don't want to? And generally I'm a curious mind and I try to always be open to going to new places, so it's unlikely that I would disagree to visit anywhere. Aside from that, I also don't really like traveling to Western Europe all that much. I mean, France and Germany is great, but I prefer more like Slavic countries and places that are a little bit more wild. So short answer is that I'm actually happy to go anywhere. What is a topic that you would like to film about but cannot because you have no opportunity to make it? Well, we always can find an opportunity to do the things that we want. I really believe that, for example, in today's video that we filmed, we wanted to go to the Hindenburg crash site, but it's an active naval base and they didn't let me in, but I found a guy who could get me in anyways, despite the fact that it was technically forbidden. And I always try to approach things in that way. But I would love so much to see North Korea. And I know that that's like a cliche, typical answer that most journalists might give. But it seems to be one of the last places on Earth that are disconnected from corporate lifestyle. And I would be fascinated to see what that's like. Also, I have, and this might sound really weird, I've got a little bit of a fascination or fantasy about being incarcerated. I mean, I don't actually want that, but sometimes I think about if you were in jail, how nice it could be that everything is provided for you. You know, all the terrible stuff aside, and I think North Korea, it sounds like that. If you could buy into the bullshit, then you know, you could be kind of happy. Like, I went to Belarus, which is said to be a kind of dictatorship country, and one thing I noticed was that if you didn't have ambitions to do something artistic, like something like we do on Kult America, and you just wanted to be a school teacher or a bus driver, you could actually have a pretty good quality of life there, and most things provided for you. So there's that element of shelter that fascinates me about a country like North Korea. Okay. Ryan, what is the biggest advantage to living in Poland? Well, the biggest advantage is having my Polish wife and daughters and the job that I love so much. But aside from that, I made a whole video about it, obviously. But one of the things I didn't talk much about was the initial response I noticed people having in terms of sensitivity to art. Polish people were really, really touched by music that I would play in a way that I wouldn't get in other countries. And yeah, it was like a romance for me. When I lived in Krakow, it might sound silly, but I loved Krakow the same way that a man loves a woman. I mean, I would be jealous of other foreigners in Krakow. Like, we just interviewed Patrick on this channel, and 7 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to because I would have been so jealous that like another man was with my woman. That's how I felt about the city and Polish culture. So the biggest advantage, honestly, for me, as someone who's really got an obsession about Polish culture, to living in Poland is the fact that I get to live in Poland. It's a humongous privilege and honor. Ryan, if you could bring anything from the US back to Poland, what would it be? I would bring like international restaurants, if I could bring anything back. One of the things that challenges me sometimes is I really like a variety of food, as you've probably noticed from some of the videos here. And in Poland it's getting better, but finding things like really good Thai food or really good Indian food can be challenging, especially outside of Warsaw. So high quality international cuisine is one argument. I'm sorry, Polish nationalists, why I'm not so upset when I see more foreigners in the country, because it's something that's really fun and invigorating in daily life. Okay, Ryan, what is your favorite Polish city? I've been to almost every Polish city with the exception of Szczecin and Białystok, but I would have to say, and not that I'm planning to live there anytime soon, one of my favorite cities to go to is Przemyśl, because one, they have pierogi krasowe, which is my favorite pierogi. I'm sorry, I know that sounds insane, But the second thing is that it's very quaint, non-commercial, quiet, slow, great people. I've got some friends there and I love going there, but there's not really a limit on cities that I like. You know, I like all the standards of Kraków, Warszawa, Gdańsk, Sopot, and so on. So I guess it's more a question of what city I don't like, and I'm not going to answer that question because you might be from that city and I might like you and I don't want to hurt your feelings. What do you do for a living? All the traveling around you doing your videos must cost money. That's a really good question, and I would be very prideful to answer to all of you what I do for a living, but I think I'd prefer to keep it a little bit of a mystery. That being said, if you're curious about what I do for a living, you can just search on Google and I think you'll find the answer soon enough. Ryan, do you like American food or Polish food better? Without a doubt, I prefer Polish food as a kind of novelty. But when I think about American food, I don't think about McDonald's or hamburgers or French fries. I actually think about all the international foods you can get in America. So in that regard, I prefer American food because, you know, growing up, it was totally normal that, like, okay, it's Thursday, we're gonna eat Mexican food, and it would taste authentic. So I think first you'd have to define what American food is before I could really tell you one way or another, but maybe we just keep it simple. I like food. Ryan, do you like Chicago or Polish cities better? I'll tell you guys a secret. I don't like Chicago. I never liked Chicago, and I think that's mostly for personal reasons. I don't want to go back there. I have family there who I love, and they're the only reasons I will go back. But aside from that, Chicago's kind of a dark and depressing place for me, and I have really no interest in spending any of my short, precious life in that city. So I hope it answers your question. Have you obtained Polish citizenship? If not, did you apply for it? I did obtain Polish citizenship actually years ago. It was one of the most prideful experiences in my life. It was given to me in the city of Kraków. There was a ceremony, and I don't cry very often, but on that day, when I received my Polish citizenship, when I was granted the right to stay forever and be a part of that country, I cried. And it was a very, very emotional experience for me, and I almost wish that I could do it again because it was just so amazing to receive this credential. On account of that, I travel mostly on a Polish passport, and I take my Polish citizenship very seriously. You might be curious why I don't speak to you in Polish. Well, that's because 20% of the audience is Polish, and I want to present these travels, but also life in Poland, to people all over the world. And so I don't want to limit myself. Also, I'm less charismatic. Like my friend Wojtek Markowicz, I was over at his house and he was like, I can't hear you speaking Polish. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to it because you're not you. And as much as I love speaking Polish, that is the truth. I am not me when I speak Polish. And maybe someday I will be, but for now that's just the reality. But my Polish citizenship is dear to my heart, and I'm very proud of that. Ryan, when will the next Let Me Introduce You to the End CD be? Well, whoever you are that asked that question, I love you and thank you for asking, because Let Me Introduce You to the End was a very dear project to me. And I've slowed down on music, no doubt, but I think that when Kult America hits 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to release my next record. But in the meantime, I definitely recommend you check out my latest record of Ghost, which is a huge thing, and Przemek Mishor from Myslowiec was singing with me on that record in one song, and it took a long time to make. Not many people heard it because I haven't been active musically. I haven't toured or done any concerts. I haven't toured or played any concerts in a long time. The last concerts were like 3 years ago in Ukraine for Fort Missia, but I think that, yeah, I will be back soon, and I'm going to do it in a special way. I want to play in your city, in small cafes, intimate settings, and really just do it for a passion project. But my time is limited, honestly, between my work, this channel, my family, so it might take some time. Okay, Ryan, why are you so obsessed with standing in 3 places at once? That's a good question. When I was a little kid and I came to New Jersey, which is this side of the thing, so I'll sit in New Jersey while I answer that question. I remember the first night I would always sleep and be so amazed that I was in a different state. where there were different laws and different realities. And for me to have the weird opportunity to be in 3 of those places at one time, where there's, you know, different constitution, different laws, and just different realities, is surreal. Also, I think that I live a kind of absurdly privileged life if I'm able to have the type of freedom to do that. You know, I'm a guy with 2 passports, and I intend on using them to their full potential. So standing in 3 places at once, I guess, is my way of excess. I don't have a lot of personal belongings. I don't spend any of the money that I earn. And as you can see, I don't like really even have nice clothing or anything. But the one area of excess that I definitely want to apply is travel. So this is my version of kind of being a gluttonous pig, if you will. And it's a cool excuse to be able to run around and see a lot of interesting historic places and, you know, have crazy adventures, basically. So the 3 places at once is the finale of a longer experience. Ryan, do you have heritage from Poland? Do you have any ancestors from Poland? Yes. 2 of my great-grandparents did come from Poland, and I plan to make videos about them in the future. One was from Robczyce Góra in Podkarpacie. The second one was from Nowy Targ in Małopolska, and Sromotoniczne, actually. So you'll probably see something about that on this channel in the future. Ryan, is there anything annoying you culturally, socially in the US after you got used to living in Poland? Maybe you look at your homeland in a different way. I've been annoyed with many things in my homeland since forever. Actually, living out of America made me appreciate more about the country itself, and I love the friendliness of the people. I love the diversity of the people. I love the fact that when I associate with someone who's from a different culture or race, I'm not judged by anyone. And yeah, so living outside of Poland actually made me appreciate, living outside of America made me appreciate America more, but I don't think I'll ever realistically move back here. All right, so that is all for the questions. There are a few more here, but honestly, I'm under the highway, on a riverbank, sitting in 3 states. My hands are freezing, and so I think I'm going to wrap up this video, but I want to take a moment to thank all of you for watching Kult America, subscribing to the channel, and being with us through this adventure. You know, we're going to keep this channel going as long as we can, and it only has sense if we're experiencing it with you. So make sure that you subscribe, stay tuned, smash the bell, follow us on Facebook, all of that. And there was one more question that I'll acknowledge. They were asking if there's a way to meet me in person, and that is possible, but you have to catch me on the street, and that can be hard to do. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.